So what is the third thing you want to know?
I want to know since I took a sales page writing course, and so I
I
created
knew
my own. Why did you know it?
it's so funny because I said to my wife, who, by the way, for anyone listening, the reason I know Susie is through my wife, Natasha. And I said to her yesterday when I was looking through your stuff, I was like, Susie definitely has been like studying how to write sales pages and stuff. I was like, she didn't just wing this. I can see she's doing all the best practices. But anyway, go ahead.
It's amazing. I love the person I found. And I know you're so great with words, having worked with you on my newsletter. I was
Mhm.
wondering if there is anything on that sales page, how you would maybe spiff it up again or introduce things differently or, use
Yep,
your wordsmithing wisely since I have you here.
sure. So a couple thoughts. So for anyone that's listening to this, and we'll put a link in the show notes, you can see this page at susiemenkes.healthylittlesleepers.com/online. And maybe it'll look a little different after this conversation, but that's what I'm talking about. So it's pretty good. And like I said, I can tell that you've studied or had help. My own personal thing is most of the advice I think is really good. Sometimes though, I feel like you want to sort of take the best of it and then kind of also sort of make it your own. And it can feel a little, that's why like I kind of knew I was like, oh, she's clearly been like coached on this, right? A couple general thoughts. So it feels like there's a lot of copy and a lot of stuff on the page. And I know that a lot of people think that's best practices, right? Of like, show them all the things they're going to get, counter all their objections, do this, do that. Like it's a lot, right?
Yeah.
But I think what happens is, and this isn't just about you, this is just in general, like I think I've fallen into this trap too, is there's a point where it goes from, wow, this seems really valuable to this starts to feel overwhelming. And
Okay.
especially with what you're doing, where people are in sort of an overwhelmed state and they want someone to make this easier, simpler, whatever.
Mm.
There's a fine, and I don't know exactly where that line is, but there's a fine line where it starts to feel like, I don't know if I have time for all this information. This starts to feel like this might be hard and might be
Mm.
a lot, right? I'm going to read all these, even if they like it, right? Even if it sounds helpful, they go, I got to read all these PDFs and I'm going to watch this video. And every 3 months, I'm going to need a new age group like this. Like you want the opposite, right? You want them to look at your page and go, this is the answer to my prayers.
Mhm.
Everything is going to be calm and simple, and the overwhelm's going to go away. Not, yeah, this would probably help me, but it feels like either it's going to be a lot of work or I'm worried that I'm going to buy it and not really use it because I don't have the time or it's too much, right?
Mhm.
So it's not about what you're offering, but I think when you have a lot of stuff, right? But wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. But wait, there's right. Like
It's just
at
I
a
was just
certain
tell
point.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just telling because my best friend, we had a weekend together and we were laughing at these infomercials. Like, "What are we gonna get
Yeah.
for free?" And I'm like, "This is
Right.
a sales page, but wait, there's more."
Right. Exactly. So that's something we would think about. By the way, I also think that $100 million offers book gets into this in sales pages. So I think you'll find that helpful here as well.
Okay.
Right now, the main headline on the page is help your little one sleep through the night without cry it out, which I think is pretty good, but I'm going to give you something to sort of think about. So I'm sure you've heard this before, but people talk about features and benefits. And features are like, this is what you're going to get. It's these videos and it's the community and it's the whatever, right?
Mhm.
Benefits are what is the result and the benefit you get of those features, right? Benefits is always what you want to focus on primarily, which you pretty much do, right? Help your little one sleep through the night. That's a benefit of the stuff they're going to get. So that's good. But the other thing that you don't hear people talk about much, and I actually only came across this recently, is it's a good question to ask what is the benefit of the benefit, especially in your case. So the benefit might be that their baby's going to sleep through the night. The benefit of the benefit is their life's going to be easier. They're going to get to sleep through the night. They're not going to have to worry about, their kids' sleep and, whatever, right?
Mhm.
They're the ones buying. And I'm not saying that they don't care about their baby and they don't genuinely want them to have a good night's sleep. But there's an underlying, not selfish in a bad way, but there is an underlying thing behind this that's like, I want my baby to sleep so I can sleep and so I don't have to worry about them and their health and their whatever, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
That might be the more powerful hook than just, or the benefit of the benefit is sometimes more powerful than just the benefit.
Mhm.
So I would consider if that main headline on the page should at a minimum combine the two, right?
Okay.
Isn't it, don't your baby and, doesn't your baby parentheses and you deserve a good night's sleep? Because that's really and again, you would know better than me because you know your
Yeah.
clientele. But on
Yeah.
some level, that's what they're actually buying.
Right.
And so I think that's really powerful. And you do sort of touch on it further down, but I
Mhm.
think it potentially should be part of that main headline.
Okay.
And also, my guess is, and you would
Question.
know better than me, but my guess is a lot of people in your niche, in your industry, are all saying, we're going to help your baby get a good night's sleep.
Right.
So it might also differentiate you a little that you're speaking to their needs, not just the
The
baby's
baby.
needs,
Right.
right? Because also they're the ones ultimately that are making the buying decision, right?
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Not the baby. The other thing I would say is, so you list all the stuff. One thing that it's not confusing to me now after we talked about it, but one thing that was a little confusing to me was it felt like a one-off payment product. And then all of a sudden I got to the price point and it was like $49 a month. And I was confused because I was like,
Mhm.
this is a membership, this is a subscription thing, but I thought it's like an on-demand course. Like, sort of, what is it? So you might want to hire up on the page in a very simple way before getting into all the details. Like, if you go back to the beginning of our conversation today, like one of the first things I said to you was like, oh, okay, so I wouldn't use the term info product, but basically it's an I'm going to get information or this blueprint, let's call it that, or whatever you want to call it, right? I'm going to get the blueprint, I'm going to get a community, and I'm going to get access to you through the community. That's what I'm getting.
Mhm.
And I'm getting it actually for $49 for as long as I want to keep paying $49 versus $49 a month subscription, whatever, right? That's a much easier. And once you get them in, they're likely to see it and love it and stay. I'm not saying not to say it's 49 a month, but the
Okay.
truth is for $49, I get the blueprint, I get access for a month, and then the product's going to live or die on how good it is, right? Because if it's good and they find it helpful, they're going to continue,
Right.
which I'm sure it is, and they probably will.
So at what point, if it's not like multiple recurring revenue in terms of the subscription, how do they like they'd have to buy in
It is
again?
no, it is a subscription. So I
Oh, it
wouldn't
is.
change how you sell it.
Okay.
I would just maybe change a little bit how you message it, right?
Okay.
So
Well, I don't
for
want
example,
me bamboozled of like I didn't
no,
know.
right. I would be clear about it, right?
Okay.
So I would say, it's interesting how you could do it, right? You could say for $49, you get the blueprint and a month of access to the community and the individual support access to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then because the truth is they're welcome to cancel after 1 month if they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I just think, because you got to think about their perception of it, right? You're trying to remove the reasons people would say no. So
Right.
if they assume I'm signing up for something, it's going to be $50 a month indefinitely, that's a way bigger commitment than I'm signing up for $50 and I can continue or not continue. So you're not lying. You're not telling them it's not
I
a
see what you're saying.
subscription.
Right.
But I think the actual barrier to entry for them is way lower than it seems when you just say $49 a month.
Yeah. Right.
Does that
And
make
that can
sense?
happen lower on the page,
Yeah.
higher
Yeah.
up on the page. I want to communicate what they get
This is
for
what you get.
$49.
Yep.
Okay.
Right. This is what it is.
Right.
Because I think the way it currently is, you're sort of explaining it bit by bit, but you want the snapshot once, so someone could go, oh, for, if I buy this thing, I'm getting 3 things. Make it really simple and easy for them to understand, and then explain what those things actually are.
Okay.
And then one last minor note. So, and again, I know this is sort of a best practice, but so I think somewhere on the page, you say it's like $1,300 worth of value for $49.
Yeah.
Nobody believes that, right?
Even when
Nobody.
my hour consult is $750.
Let me ask you a question. If somebody, I'm not saying it's not legitimate, and I'm not saying it's not true,
Okay.
but what I'm saying is if someone said to you, I have something that is worth $1,300 and I'm giving it to you for $49, you would think one of 2 things. One, they're full of shit, which you're not. It actually is that valuable, right?
Right. Yeah.
Or 2, you would think that, well, the $1,300 thing's not actually worth $1,300. Think about the flip side. Think about if I'm a client of yours who's paying your regular consulting fee
Uh-huh.
and you're going, why am I paying you $1,300 if I could get this? They're not the same.
Right. Well, they're
Right.
not the same because they don't have access to me whenever they want.
But that's my point, right? But that's my point. It's not $1,300. So I just think that what I think you don't want to do, regardless of whether or not it's true, right? Let me put it this way. You don't want to introduce skepticism for a buyer.
Right.
You don't want them even thinking, why is she selling something worth $1,300 for $49?
Right.
Even if it's true,
Okay.
right? And
Yeah.
so what you're trying to do is go, oh, look how valuable all this stuff is. But I don't know
Right.
when it's that big of a gap that it's helping you, because I think it prompts a question. What's interesting to me is you're the furthest thing from scamming, right? You're the furthest thing from an infomercial.
Right.
But that's what you would hear on an infomercial. So even if it's
Okay.
accurate, right, you're going to get these 20 pots and pans that normally sell for $800 for $6.
$29.90.
Right, $29.99. And if you buy now, we'll give you an extra set. We'll double it, right? So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if it's true. It's that I don't think you want to sound like those people.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I don't.
So, right. So I think that, oh, and then one other thing in this, I think there's a really key differentiation point that I think I would probably play up more. Somewhere in here. Okay. So pretty far down the page, there's so many sleep training programs out there that promise to get your baby sleeping through the night. Sure, some of them might work some of the time for some families, but none of them work all the time for every family, because sleep training is not a one size fits all approach. My guess is that differentiates you from a lot of people in this space.
Mm-hmm.
That I think is really key in terms of why they should hire you and why they should pay for this product and the different age things, as opposed to like, just go find some other resource, go Google some free thing about how to sleep. What I actually think you're offering is I also like the word custom.
Yeah.
That this is customized for your child
Mm-hmm.
and where they are and their issues. I think I would play that up a little more, because it's saying that it's saying that, again, you can just go Google how to help your baby sleep, but you're going to get the one size fits all general advice. And that's not what you need. You're drawing that line in the sand. Custom's also a word I think that sounds valuable.
Yeah.
Like more valuable than just sort of
Personal.
whatever.
or
So I think that's something that I would sort of play up in there.
okay. Do you even think, like, with the whole price value differentiation, like, not even to say, like, one-on-one is $750?
Yeah, you can. I don't mind giving some context, right?
Okay.
So like in here you have near the section that I was just talking about, you can pay upwards of 475 to 750 for a one-on-one consult, right? I do think that anchoring of this is what it usually costs to get my expertise. I just don't like the comparison of this is 13 because they're different products.
Right.
I
Right.
guess that's my point, right?
Okay.
The people
Yep.
that are paying 750 are getting a different service than what this is.
Right.
But this gives you a chance to access your expertise. Maybe it's that, right? That
Right.
this is an affordable way to access your expertise.
Mhm.
That I just don't like the direct comparison of this is worth 1300 and I'm giving it to you for 49.
Right. That makes sense.
You can say
Uh,
your expertise is worth this is what I charge to work with people.
right.
But I want to make this, I want to help you to the best I can. So that's why I created this thing.
Right. Okay. Love it.
Cool.